All right, welcome. We are live for the first Blue Boys Baseball Club, and of course,
Wow.
promptly, Javier Assad gives up. Oh my God, Chuck Nasty still out here.
Leadoff bunt.
Leadoff bunt single, playing into what they're able to shift to this year.
Wow.
That's a great start. But hey, no rain. We're here. We're doing this.
Yeah.
We got one viewer that I think is me in a YouTube tab. Now we got 0 viewers, so it's not me because that tab's still open. That's okay.
All right. This is new
We're
to
here.
us.
You can join us. This is new to us. We're doing it live. We did not practice anything. We're gonna do, bear with us as we try to sync up our streams here. Let's see. So we got the first pitch sinker to Brendan Rodgers. No, second pitch. Okay, so it's 2-0. He's about to throw the 2-0.
It was a rough no call. Ooh.
And then he fouls off to the right side. Yep. Okay, cool.
We're good. Yeah, we're good.
Nice. So if anybody's watching right now, this is going to be like super, super informal. Ian and I are just going to watch Cubs games, and we hope that you guys join. We know that we've got some excellent broadcasters, so we're competing against the best. But I started this thing because I wanted to do something. Like, I'm sitting at home watching Cubs games anyway. You and I are always texting back and forth about the games anyway.
Always.
So I figured, and we've enjoyed talking with each other on the Dingers podcast. So it's like, all right, why not create our own thing and talk about the games live? So as I say that, we got the 3-2 pitch coming to Brendan Rodgers here. No outs, top of the first.
Rough start for Assad right now. Rough start.
Yeah, as you said, he got kind of screwed on a no call, on a sinker at
that's second
bottom
pitch,
of the zone.
Yeah.
And obviously too, if you're joining in on the comments, or if you're joining in on the streams, I think we can get all 3 comments. I know that they just updated StreamYard, so we can get Twitter comments again. Can of corn.
There you go.
Let's go.
Nice.
Chuck,
nice,
how does
nice.
that happen? How does that happen?
That happens because it's the Rockies.
Yeah, it is the Rockies. Yeah, so like I was saying, I just want people to join in on the comments. Throughout the season here, we're gonna get people. I've got some ideas of people in mind who we might get on the stream. I haven't reached out to anybody specifically yet. I think a really cool thing would be if we can line up a stream with like a Cade Horton debut, assuming that it's not a game that either of us happen to be at or whatever. I think it'd be really great to get someone like Greg Huss or Greg Zumacher, both of them on to kind of analyze a Cade Horton start, or if we know that there's going to be any prospect debut. So for that matter, like I would say too, like if you have people that you'd like to see us bring on the stream, that'd be really fun. I think it'd be cool to get people like fans of another team, like the opposing team. There's
I got a buddy. I'm gonna give him a shout out on this stream, Andy Sitto, who is a musician and a diehard Reds fan.
Yeah.
I don't want him to come on. I don't want him to be happy, but he'd be good to talk baseball with.
The Reds are going to be an interesting team this year, man. One thing that I think that people, like everybody who, baby, 94 down the pipe, Nolan Jones, sit down.
That was pretty.
Yeah,
man, he got out of some early trouble, including the rough count too with Rodgers there.
Yeah,
he definitely got out of some
behind
trouble.
2-0. What do you think about Assad rounding out the rotation this year? I mean, obviously with the injury to Steele, do we know if Ben Brown's going to be starting tomorrow, or have they announced anything about tomorrow? I haven't seen anything yet.
I didn't see anything about it. I mean, I feel like you almost have to give him a shot. Man,
Well, I wonder too if they skip because they had Friday off and they just
right.
turn the rotation back over because he's on. Well, wait a minute.
Mm-mm.
Would they turn it back? They can't turn it back over to Hendricks
No.
because he's not on. He wouldn't be on 4 days or 5 days rest.
No. I almost feel like you have to. I mean, I think the option of Smiley starting, I'm always concerned about that. The option of that,
Well, he
I
went
think,
a
is out the
couple
window because he win a
too.
couple. Yeah.
Yeah. And he
Yep.
looked pretty good. I mean, he looked pretty good yesterday. I will say, like, that's the one downfall. So I was in the bleachers yesterday, as you know. Um,
Yep. Freezing
that's
your
the
butt
one
off.
downfall of sitting in the. You know what? It was so we got like a little bit of sunlight in I don't know the fourth inning, fifth inning.
Okay.
The sun broke through the clouds for a little bit before it started raining. So that was like really nice to have a little bit of warmth, a little bit of brightness out there. Um, but what was I getting at? Oh, the bleachers. It can be
Yeah.
difficult to pay attention to the game, like specifically like how the pitcher's doing from all the way out there, because especially like unless you're sitting dead center in that section above the hitter's eye, um, you can't really see how the stuff like quite how the stuff is breaking. So my favorite thing to do in the left field bleachers is when I think that the ump misses a call, like scream about it, like yeah, as if I can see from my vantage point. Like I've got a better vantage point than the ump does way out here in left field.
Right.
So I don't know. I think Smiley looks pretty sharp from my
Yeah.
viewpoint. There's my little
No,
disclaimer there.
he definitely did. I mean, there were a couple where, if the Rockies were maybe a better managed team or a better coached team, there were a couple that might have been piped off of him. Also, he had some really light work too. Like,
Hmm.
it's not like the game was really ever in danger of being problematic. Oh, Freeland got a little robbed there on the edge. Was
Dude,
a
that was one thing
generous.
that I noticed in spring training. Like it felt like the umps and he gets the call back right there.
Yep.
Um, I believe the umps were still in like spring training mode too. Because my God, watching the spring training games, they missed a lot of calls.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of an
This game
unfortunate.
too.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
This
I'm getting a scouting report on the Marquee stream. Dan Iasonia is more pitcher friendly. Called strikes 18% below average into lefties. Hmm. So this is how casual we're going to be. Like I'm eating my pizza.
yeah.
I'm sure some of you are eating pizza. Um, no
You'll see
sponsors yet, so
you'll see bathroom
shouts out to
breaks.
Jordan. But,
Bathroom breaks, maybe dog appearances even.
mm-hmm,
Who
mm-hmm.
knows? You know?
Blue's lying on the ground behind me. He's upset that we haven't gone out today because it's been like not blizzarding, but snowing really hard in Madison.
Really? You getting
Mm-hmm.
you getting snow? Wow.
I think we're supposed to get
That's
like
nuts.
up to 8 inches through midnight tonight, and then an additional 3 tomorrow morning. So that's super
Yikes.
fun.
It's
Stay up.
yeah.
Boom, baby. We're playing basketball.
Yeah. Oh, that
Mm.
was so nice.
I mean, that's the kind of pitch that he has to take advantage of.
Absolutely.
It's right there.
One of the things too, I mean, like, there's obviously plenty of grievances to be had about the Ranger series, and all but one of those games was probably winnable. Um, but I'm less interested in, I would like this team to beat good teams, but I'm less interested in them sneaking out wins against series that, against teams in series that they're probably not supposed to
Mm-hmm.
win. And I'm far more interested in them finishing games against teams that they're supposed to beat this year. That was an issue last year, like a really bad problem. I'm just speaking. Oh my gosh.
I thought it was gone. I thought it
Oh
died. It
no.
died. 106.9 off the bat, though. So, like, where did the wind just stop blowing
Yeah, it just stopped
for sale?
immediately.
Yeah. I get what you're saying though, and I feel like that's like a problem. I don't know. It obviously we're biased, but it feels like a problem unique to Chicago teams because I think about when the Bulls were
Totally.
really good, and we'd play. I guess that was when the Pacers were really good. So you'd play like a really great game against the Pacers one night, and then the next night they'd have the Bobcats. They beat, or the next game, they beat the Pacers back in the Roy Hibbert days. Who's the
Right.
point guard then? They had a good point guard, George Hill, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
I think it was George Hill. And then they'd play the Bobcats and they'd lose to the Bobcats and just like look super flat. So I don't know. I mean,
Right.
I do think, and we see that with the Bears too, obviously, but they've, the Bears are in a league of their own in terms of not being very good.
Yeah.
I feel that way with the Cubs. I mean, what you're getting at is like we have to win this series. Like I put
Right.
down that this series should be a sweep handily.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly what I would expect of this series. And so, like one of those things that's like, at the end of kind of towards the end of last season when they were in Denver playing the Rockies, one of my biggest gripes was, they should have won all three of those games. And then and then all of a sudden it doesn't matter your playoff seeding because you've pretty much locked it in. You got one of the wins that you actually needed to
Mm-hmm.
get.
Mm-hmm.
If you would, and I think they went 1-2 in that series, and that's abysmal.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
and if a team like the Rockies is going to be who they are this year, I mean, if you just sit there and look at their record now, they're on pace to win 32 games and lose 130. The temperature here in Denver in terms of that expectation is realistic. Like fans in Denver are expecting something like that. They're expecting another 100 loss season.
That's so brutal, dude. I mean, first of all, 31 and 1, what'd you say? 31 and 131?
31, no, 32 and 130.
Oh yeah, give them that one extra loss or that one extra win. I mean,
Right.
I could not, dude. Like, you look at this team and the way it's constructed, and that doesn't seem out of the question.
Well, no,
Like
not at all. I mean,
it seems very feasible that this team. What is the least? How do we want to search this? Most losses in an MLB season? Most losses in MLB season. Let's see. Well, this was back when they played 154, but the Spiders were 20 and 134.
oof.
Yeah. So that's a 130 winning percentage. The 62 Mets, 120 losses. So, I mean, Rockies fans could be witnessing history this year.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is like, for this Cubs team, like the expectations are to win your division right now, which my goodness, what is happening with the Pirates to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
I'm tempering on the Pirates though because they started last season 20-9 at the end of April,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Right.
like they were super hot to begin with. But then, at the same time, like you can't spot, losing a series to the Rangers, that's one thing. Losing a series to the Rockies or any other team that you're supposed to beat this year is just there is no margin for error for that. We saw
Mm-hmm.
that last year. And the pitching depth on this team obviously hasn't been addressed enough. Like, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I think you said it the other day too. Like, immediately. Oh, thank goodness we're not standing up and giving him another one. I have my own feelings about this. It's time to move on.
I gave an ovation yesterday.
That's fine. That's fine. He doesn't need one
I mean,
today.
and it was big yesterday. It was big yesterday.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, he doesn't need to get an ovation every game.
I don't think he needs one every time he comes back either, though. Like that's my.
Ooh. Good thing he's got that pad.
Mm-hmm.
That'll start to slow down, I'm sure.
He's off to a horrible start.
I mean, like, do I feel bad for dude? Like, I don't know if I should feel bad for him.
I don't.
I feel bad that it's kind of like, I don't want to compare it to Derrick Rose because there was no like obvious career-ending injury, but I feel bad that we're robbed of what should have been a Hall of Fame career. Like he was on a Hall of Fame trajectory, and
oh, absolutely. I mean, he was, but yeah, like I don't feel bad for I don't feel bad for Javi right now, and he's been having a go of it.
I don't know, man. Javi's like way different. Like the reason I feel bad for Javi is because I think Cubs fans gave him way more. Like he fed off the energy of Cubs fans way more than Bryant did. And I think that Cubs fans, I think more Cubs fans would say that they were a Javi Baez fan. Like more Cubs fans in 2016 and 17 would have said Javi's my favorite player than would have said KB's my favorite player. And so I think to go from a fan base that like loved him so much, and like Javi could, yes, his striking out and everything, but like he really could do no wrong in Cubs fans' eyes. Like even if he had a big strikeout, swung at a slider out of the zone, like he was going to make up for it. But KB was like more under the radar. Like even though he put up huge numbers, it was obviously a little bit quieter, and he was able to do that because he had, Wilson and Javi on the team who were kind of more showboaty or the showman.
Totally.
But I feel bad for Javi that he just fell off a cliff.
Yeah, I wish I could. I just don't have, it's like we're looking at a tale of two sides here. We're looking at Jed saying one thing. Obviously, these players are saying another. In hindsight, Jed won out because of their performance. Like
yeah,
and what? Oh, man. It's like, well, Jed was right.
Yeah,
he's certainly not always right.
Doesn't that hurt? Like, does that hurt you at all? Like, I think it probably hurts me the most in Rizzo's case because we've had such a hole at first base, and
right, that's the only one he was wrong about.
Like Michael Busch hasn't proven anything yet.
No,
and Garrett Cooper is a stopgap.
At best,
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt me in that regard, but I do. Rizzo is the only one I agree with you on. Like, yes, like we don't have an answer. We haven't had an answer. Yeah. It's been a bummer.
Is Dansby as Assad is trying to work out of
I know. That was rough.
A jam. See, this is the problem too. Like Assad, it's fine having Assad start against the Rockies right now. If this were, I don't know, any of
this game had
25 other teams. Yeah,
right.
If this were any of 25 other teams in Major League Baseball right now, this would be a problem. Yep. Assad would be in big, big trouble. But we have Elias Diaz up at the plate.
I mean, this still isn't good.
He's got pop. Diaz has pop.
Yeah.
So 1-2. It's a good pitch. It's a good pitch on 1-2.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, forget what they call that zone that's just off the edge. I just heard it referenced recently. I'd never like heard that there was a specific term for that zone. You guys, I don't think anybody can hear this. I don't think my mic is picking this up, but my dog is panting right over my shoulder here because I've got pizza.
No, but I can see him. What up?
It's Blue Dog.
Blue, my pup hurt his paw the other day.
How?
I don't know. He did something in the yard, and I don't know, cut it. So I've become clinically good at wrapping my dog's paws.
He had some like Blue had some like turf toe when we boarded him when we were in Colorado, and he just had like some tenderness in between his pads, and I think it was from the turf because they, makes more sense in a smaller space for them to have turf for the dogs to play on than grass, and everything gets muddy. And there we go. There's the ass man.
Ooh.
And that's the same pitch that he almost got.
He almost got him. He got him to commit, and then he finally got him to. Yeah, there we go. That was nice.
That's perfectly located too. That's exactly where you want it.
I'm working on our animation here.
I'm working on pizza.
You should. That's what you should be working on. Okay, we do have to talk about this in the realm of all of our streams. Why did you pick your hat today? Hat conversations are unavoidable between us.
So I've been wearing this kind of like gray blue crew neck all day, and the brown corduroy snapback that we both have would have gone really well, but I wore that on you wore that on your last appearance on Dingers.
Second to last.
So you were on last night? I wasn't.
I was not. No.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
Okay.
But I was on the pick.
That's right. You were on the, yeah, that's right. The prediction one. Okay. Didn't wear that because it's made an appearance basically. And this one has a brown underbrim.
Oh, cool.
That worked well. And then I love this like 1943, I think it was.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
This wonky looking Cub. Very different than the traditional like flat kind of 2D red and blue Cubs that you see. I guess usually blue and white. And you've got the Rockford Cubs.
I do, yeah, the Rockford Cubbies. Yeah.
It's hot. So why'd you choose yours?
Feeling nostalgic today. Being from there. It's it hit well, plays well. And if you could get out of this.
For the listeners, you grew up in Rockford.
Mm-hmm.
And was it college that took you to Colorado, or did you move to Colorado before?
Moved to Colorado way before. When I was a kid, when I was about 8. Yeah. So been a native for a while, I guess, in Colorado. I just can't bring myself to root for any of their teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really. I mean, the Avs.
Yeah, they're super easy to root for. The Nuggets have been easy to root for. I guess, like in terms of, adopting a baseball team and a football team, that's off the table for me. I just can't do it.
Yeah, not much fanfare to be had with those teams.
No, and both are atrocious right now.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I'll give it this, and I understand why, perhaps Monfort doesn't feel any initial urgency to put a winning product on the field all that much, is that, every time I've ever been to a Rockies game, when they're playing the Cubs here in town. Man,
Assad gets out of it. Damn.
Yeah. That had the recipe of nightmare all over it. Yeah, no, I guess like for me, every time I'm there, it's just one of those things where I'm like, oh, well, what the heck? Like it's all visiting team fans, and his bills are getting paid one way or the other. And I mean, it's a bummer, man. Like Denver sports fans are passionate. They care about their teams. They care about their teams a lot. And it is a real freaking bummer to watch them just no love. They don't get any love from the ownership group here. Not that Ricketts really cares about how us Cubs fans feel, but I always kind of put myself in the shoes here of like, sports is the ultimate what have you done for me lately industry.
Totally.
And despite my displeasure about Tom and his family not writing massive checks or overly lengthy contracts at any given time, I will hold on to 2016 for the rest of my life, but I would like to see another one. Like the expectations have changed. You can't just win one and then hope that satiates 3 generations of families. Like you have to put it forth again.
I at least want to see that there's effort. Like,
right.
I don't want to hear, like, just be honest with what you're doing. Like, I think that that's one thing that Ryan Poles has been really honest as a GM. And I don't think that it's like, I can't see a situation yet where that's come back to bite Poles. I could see it happening down the line. But like his thing with Justin Fields, like basically him saying like, yeah, it sucks, but it came down to finances. We had to reset. He didn't say this explicitly, but he basically was saying we had to reset the rookie contract for the quarterback. And I appreciate that honesty.
Absolutely.
We have not gotten that from the Cubs.
No. And, weirdly enough, I feel like with Craig, even in interviews, post-game interviews and pre-game interviews, like I feel like I'm actually getting more honesty from him just in a very small sample size on how he's choosing to play this team and what he thinks of his players. I left a comment on in the comments for the Dingers podcast last night where watching how Craig deploys this team and how he manages this team is kind of illuminating in a way. And I know we have only a really small sample size, but I don't know. I see something different out of each of the players. And it was the thing that I feel like when the Cubs transitioned from Madden to Ross, this thing didn't change. And it was Madden was kind of their buddy. And Ross was also kind of their buddy.
Yeah.
Dude, Chris just fucking running around.
Cooper was my dinger pick.
Yeah, he almost got you one there. It's all right, Chris. Only 6 more years, Chris. No, so for me, it's like when we went from Madden to Ross, it went from like buddy manager to buddy manager. And there were still too many players from the 2016 team that Ross, I just feel like he still felt like he had to be their teammate and their buddy somehow. And what makes me excited with Craig here is he does not feel the need to be anyone's buddy.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things too, I love David Ross. How, as a Cubs fan, how can you not love David Ross? But it felt like that was bound to happen. What you just described was bound to happen with him being hired as the manager when he was. I think maybe if he'd been hired, I don't know, if he had gotten hired like 2026, 10 years after it was over.
Totally.
But then there's also the problem too, like he probably would have been hanging out around spring training, coming in and making appearances. And I think that having someone come in the same way that I think that like having Carter Hawkins come in from Cleveland was really important. Having Dan Kantrovitz come in was really important. You've got to have magical RBI, baby.
Yep.
There we go. Where my magical haters at?
That's your boy, dude.
That's my guy. I got the bobblehead right up there. The double play combo of Nico and Madrigal with my Fergie statue bobble in the middle.
I wouldn't say that
there. three Hall of Famers, baby. 3 Hall of Famers right there.
Don't you dare.
Hey, Madrigal's still gonna get 3,000 hits. Watch him clock it. He's gonna get 3,000 hits one way or another. He's gonna play till he's 45.
Is he getting these hits in your return to the show?
No. Well, first of all, I was playing stolen base match.
Yeah, he's shifty little guy.
I love this Madrigal content right now.
So first off, like, I mean, that's a huge thing. Like, watching how he's been deployed is very different, even just in a really small sample size.
Came in as a defensive replacement yesterday.
Right. That's a big deal.
After Morel missed that ball, it was a rocket, but like a good third baseman has that ball off of Brian's bat yesterday.
Helped keep Shota's
his
no hitter into the sixth intact.
I even knew though, that's a hard hit ball, but on the ground from Amaya. I even knew though, I was like, Kim and I were looking at the pitch count throughout the game, and we were like, he's not being efficient enough. Like, and that's a problem, right? Like, let's talk about on broadcasts when a pitcher, when you have a guy striking so many hitters out, it takes more pitches to get those outs. So obviously it's going to lead to an inflated pitch count. The guy's not going to be able to go as deep into a ball game unless you've got like a workhorse. Like, I think there aren't many guys in the modern game that could get away with it. The only guy that comes to mind to me right now is like Zach Wheeler. He's the only guy that I feel like could shoulder, like a 12 strikeout, complete game shutout. I mean, Scherzer and Verlander in their primes, obviously. Kershaw in his prime. But all three of those guys are hurt right now.
Yeah. Man, can you imagine the Rangers when their pitching staff is completely healthy?
It's going to be
that
nasty,
might look
man.
like.
They just lost Josh Young to a fractured wrist.
Yeah, I saw
that hurts, but they've got oh my God, Justin Foscue, who was like tearing it up in the spring. Yep. So he can step right in. And that's the thing, man. Like, and then I'm gonna get the other half of my pizza while it's still hot. But this thought that I have. There is preseason the Cubs were ranked like the second best farm system. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Behind the Orioles?
I think so.
Dude, as a Cubs fan, sorry, I don't see it.
I don't either.
I don't see that. I mean, what do you say? Because they've got Cade Horton and PCA.
Is that Nico's second walk in this game?
That's a second walk, yeah.
Oh wow.
I'd love to see a second dinger from Seiya.
I would too.
But like looking at those two guys, I mean, there's nobody else. Owen Casey, I think, is going to make it to can't miss. I think he's going to get there as a can't miss offensive prospect. But I don't think there's anybody else in this. People, you could say Jefferson Rojas, but he's still young. He's 18. And like people thought that Christian Hernandez was a can't miss prospect.
Right.
And what's he doing? So I don't know, man. I just like jury's out like on Ben Brown still.
Well, yeah, we're about to find out.
We got the setup, man. Thanks for joining us, dude. I know we follow each other. I forget your first name. Put it in the comments so we can put your info in the comments so we can drop it here for anybody watching. He says 7 of the top 100 is the most, he thinks. That's why the Cubs are the second. But I even let me pull up the Cubs top one, or let me pull up the top 100 prospects here.
What's up, setup man? How you doing? Thanks for hanging.
Kyle. Shouts out Kyle, the setup man. Kyle, were you the one that had the the Morel defensive breakdown TikTok kind of, TikTok reel format video that blew up in spring training? I think that was you, Kyle. That was good. Let's see. Live stream April 10th. All right, Kyle with the setup man is doing a live stream April 10th.
Oh,
I'll be
cool.
tuning into that. I don't think I've got anything going on.
Nope.
Again, I'm rearranging my windows here as we look. Okay, 3-2 count, 2 outs. Say it. Come on, baby. Fouls one off. Okay, we're looking at the top 100.
That's the nice thing about Freeland is he's when you get to him, you can get to him.
He had one good season. I do love that he's a Colorado native. I think that's great. I mean, that's
There's
that's
nothing
every kid.
special about being from Colorado.
You say there's nothing special?
Nothing special about it. Come
No.
on.
It's not Colorado specifically. I could also say Zach Short playing for the Mets. That's awesome. Talkman playing for the Cubs. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Komet playing for the Bears. Same kind of concept.
Yeah. Komet, did they show on TV that Komet was up in a suite yesterday?
Yeah.
It was him, DJ Moore, Jatiri Carter. Live stream. Okay, hang on. We'll share this comment. So Kyle's going to do a live stream on April 10th. Live stream on his YouTube channel. Yeah, Kyle then mentions that Freeland's having a rough start to the season. I don't know what you can expect for any Rockies pitcher. In fantasy, I don't think I've ever rostered or thought about rostering a Rockies pitcher.
Well, Coors effect.
Mm-hmm. But that's exactly what I'm saying. That's why.
Yeah.
It's got to be near impossible for them to sign free agent pitchers because what free agent pitcher wants to go there? Who's going to be the one that says no, I'm going to go there and have success? I do think someone like Stroman, a ground ball heavy pitcher, that's what their rotation needs to be.
Yeah.
Sinker ballers.
Yep. But the problem is with that is the dimensions of Coors Field. If one sneaks through anywhere, it's such a nightmare of a situation to chase a ball down there. And the dimensions of Coors are just hideous. So awful.
Yeah, it's a football field out there. Okay, I'm gonna go get my pizza, and then I want to go over some.
I do want to talk about Shota yesterday.
Well, Ian can talk to the ownership. Kyle said, especially since their ownership is garbage.
Yeah,
they spend money on guys like Bryant. Yeah,
they're still spending money on Nolan at this point too. They're still paying both of them.
True. I'll leave my camera on. You can see what my cats are doing over here.
That's fine.
You can watch me walk away.
Hate to watch you leave. Fun little nugget on the Rockies broadcast. They are showing the bean.
Yeah, we love the bean.
Nothing says Denver to Chicago.
I saw one time I commented on a Facebook post. It was like, if you could use one word to describe your city that people would recognize it. And I said bean. And I thought that would like blow up. It was Facebook, so who really gives a shit? But I thought that would blow up with like, I don't know, I got cocky. But you could say like windy, like the Windy City, obviously, but no, I wanted to be special and say bean.
I like it.
It is cool. Like I will say, like it's pretty wild that it's so seamless, but I haven't seen the bean in close to a decade, probably. Can you not breathe on my pizza? Thanks, buddy.
His mouth is sanitary.
Yeah, for sure.
Dogs' mouths are sanitary, man.
They smell really good too.
They do. Do you brush his teeth?
We just got these like Dentasticks treats.
Oh, yeah.
We do need to brush his teeth, though. Do you brush your dog's teeth?
Yeah, man. Once a week.
Damn. Okay.
It doesn't make you a bad dog, Dad. It's like the easiest thing to like get out of, like, it's the easiest thing to forget to do. But I don't know. I do it mostly for my sake.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
We've
never gotten called out at the vet. Like they've said, oh, you should probably start brushing his teeth, but he's okay, right? He's only 4.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But the one thing that we cannot do, we've done it once. Trimming his claws, dude.
Oh, man.
It's so difficult. There's a nice little inning from Assad there. A little 1, 2, 3. Some soft contact to get it done. There we go.
That was nice. That's how you stay in a game.
Dude, they've got to be so fucking cold out there right now.
Oh, it's nightmarish cold.
At least it's not raining or snowing. We're scheduled to stream tomorrow, but I guarantee you the game is not going to get played tomorrow. We won't get that lucky.
Yeah.
So it says we have 98 viewers, and I think that is super false. I think what it's doing is,
I think it's just people that have maybe checked in.
I think Twitch and YouTube, it like marks people coming in and out, but I think Twitter, it just stays. Like it just logs a viewer. But
hey, that's darn tootin' fine. I gotta figure out how to export this. The inner workings of our minds as we watch baseball games.
What I'm thinking right now is I'm definitely going to have dinner before the stream tomorrow night.
Oh, why? I don't think it's anything. I mean,
no, I feel like I can't. Like this is a speaking format. I've got mouth stuffed with pizza.
Sometimes you just got to watch too.
Yeah. I think it'd be different if we had like a lot of activity in the comments, and I don't know. Hey, hopefully we'll get there someday. But
yeah.
They're showing a Morel bomb off Freeland last year. in Denver.
To Kyle, we are streaming as often as we can. Both Jake and I lead tremendously busy lives. So I think we've got, what, 6 this month? Do we have 5 or 6?
We
got tomorrow?
We have 5.
Yeah.
Kyle, if you go to my Twitter profile, it's the pinned tweet with the schedule in there. So we're doing today, tomorrow, Friday. So we're starting out hot. And then we've got like one, I think on the 15th, maybe, against is that right? Is it the 15th? I don't know if that's right. Oh, Morel? Gone. That was a skyscraper, dude.
That
was way up there.
Off to a fucking scorching hot. Freeland is toast.
Dude, if only we'll get in. There's a guy. I've got a lot to say. We'll talk about my experience yesterday in the bleachers. Overall, very positive. But to finish the thought, we've got the Astros. I think it's on the 15th, and then the last one is like the 29th or something against the Mets. It's the 29th against the Mets.
Man, what a bomb.
There was a guy. There were 2 guys around me that, like, one guy was like sort of negative. The other guy thought he knew what he was talking about. I was like, this guy does not know ball. And it drove me nuts, man. Like, what was he talking about? He was just like, he was ragging on Morel's defense and then ragging on Madrigal. It's like, well, dude, what do you want them to do? Like, he wasn't complaining about like, oh, they should have signed a third baseman. And I'm glad. I think Chapman's off to a hot start, but I'm glad we didn't sign Matt Chapman. I don't think if we had signed into a long-term contract, I don't think it would have aged well.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean,
we got Kevin in the chat. What's up, Kevin?
Kevin, hey.
Dinger's co-host.
Man, Dansby just out here smacking people. Oh, he didn't touch him. Oh, shoot. Oh, no.
You're seeing the replay on your stream. I'm not.
Oh, no. That looked awful. I had to make sure I was only responding from either the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, Kevin's up in the Dinger picks.
I know. I just booed him.
I think Kevin won last year, too. I can't remember.
Yeah, Kevin, did you win last year? Silence. He's silent because he knows he did.
Dansby. Infield single, baby. We'll take that.
Yeah. That was nice.
Freeland's
really
pissed.
Nice.
Freeland is so pissed.
Well, because maybe he sucks. Maybe he's upset because he sucks.
Hey, Freeland, suck less.
Oh, Mitch won last year. That's who won. Okay. Export.
Good boy. Where else can you get Cubs talk and a good boy getting a piece of crust? He's so gentle. We've taught him to be really gentle when he gets treats.
So back in like 2014, I got bit by a dog in the face.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yeah, 17 stitches to put my
Jesus.
lip back together. And so when I got my dog, I was like, my dog will not bite anyone ever. Like ever, ever, ever. And so I've trained Mickey, like if you're playing with him and he like gets like your arm in his mouth or anywhere near it,
Mm-hmm.
he'll turn his head to avoid your mouth. Like he'll just turn it, which is like, and it's it's one of those things where it's like that to me is so valuable because I couldn't imagine like my dog like accidentally biting a kid or something. Like
No
that's just,
way. No
oh
way.
man, that would be the pits.
Yeah. Yeah. I even when Blue used to get like a little too riled up, we lived in a building that had a dog run. So it wasn't very big, but it was a space for the dogs to go out and play. And the problem with it not being big enough was that the dogs couldn't separate themselves effectively. If like one got overstimulated, there we go. Happy little backside single through the hole. We'll take that all day. 2 runners on,
Decent,
nobody
decent start for Ian this year.
After being kind of slow in the first couple games, it goes 4 for 5 with a walk. 2 RBIs, I think, in that game on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, batting .412. Hey, that's a right-handed hit too.
Yeah.
We love to see righty Ian succeed.
I'm righty Ian.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I meant. Kevin, you know what, Kevin? The more comments you give us, I think the better our engagement may be. So it's okay if you misspell something and then have to correct yourself. We'll take 2 comments. I'll check the animation in a second once I finish my za. Garrett Cooper, goodbye. Boom, baby. Bam, bam.
How you love this man?
I think he's like super underrated. I don't know. I think it's just like a really good baseline professional bench piece to have. I would have loved to see Dom Smith stay with the team, but
Just wasn't in the cards for it.
yeah. All right, I got to give Freeland props. That was a good back foot slider. Nicky, 2 hits. Can we get 2 hits and 2 RBI in one game?
Yeah.
It's possible. It has been done before.
He's hit a home run before.
Been in one of those games.
I know. You were so thrilled. Can
I don't
we
remember anything else about that game besides that. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, can we talk about how cool it is that Shota used Chelsea Dagger for his walkout song yesterday?
I wonder if this dude just like I wonder if we're gonna find out that he's just always had a love affair with Chicago for one reason or another.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's something about that. Watching him yesterday was so fun because he has attitude. He just has straight up attitude. And so cool to watch as he was pitching. Like I thought Steele got animated sometimes when he pitched. Like Shota, every time it was big, I was like, whoa.
See, that was hey, 2 hits, 2 RBI for Mads. There we go.
Look at you.
3 RBI.
He's your little
Run, Nico. Or run.
He's
half,
your little
run
buddy,
half.
man.
Hey, guess who the MVP of this game is right now?
It's all right, Chris. Only 6 more years. I'm not going to endear myself to any Cubs fans on our streaming because everyone always has the KB Cub for Life thing, and I'm like, well, then why'd he sign a 8-year deal?
No, I think you'd be surprised.
Rockies?
I think there are a good amount of people who have gone against that.
I'll always be thankful. I just like it's time to move on. Like, what's the phrase? Like building the next great Cubs team. Well, then we can't involve anyone from the past in that. So,
not even David Ross.
Especially David Ross right now. David wore out is welcome for me.
I wonder how my Nick Madrigal MVP tweet's going to do. How's that going to be received?
It'll be fine. Prove us wrong.
I don't even care that it was soft contact. Who cares?
Well, he's not gonna smack it out of the yard every time he goes up. Barely makes the basket.
He did hit the bleachers. He did hit the bleachers in the home run that I saw.
Okay, well, the first bleacher.
It was like five or six rows deep, man. It was impressive.
Man, that's 2 balls that Amaya's gotten on. Contact off that one was a little lighter, but man,
Gotta put it in the air, baby.
Yeah.
Okay, the broadcast is focused in on. It was just focused in on the back of Madrigal's jersey, so I wonder if they were talking about the hideous jerseys.
Oh man, I hate them so much.
Ooh, Nico, back foot. Hey, 3 for 3 being on base. There we go.
Dylan here. A bleacher's a bleacher as far as I'm concerned.
That's what I'm saying, Dylan. That's what I'm saying, Dylan. Hey, Dylan, while you're here, I've been meaning to ask you, when the Madison Mallards rebranded a couple summers ago, there was another Madison graphic designer who posted their take of Maynard the Mallard, and it was a lot better than what the Mallards actually came up with. Was that you, Dylan? I can't remember. I had found the designer who did it, but I can't remember who it was. And all I know is that whoever did it, that updated better Mallard. I just sprayed this everywhere. Shit.
What you sipping on?
Mark Crosby. I'll have to look at that. Dylan. It's a hop water. I had enough beer over the weekend, so little Fair State hop water action. Saya.
I'm about to go
morning
get a
track
beverage.
Power.
Yeah. Would have been hilarious had he gotten a hold of another one.
That would have been awesome. Go get yourself a bev. I'm gonna look into this Mark Crosby gentleman. Yeah, I think Kevin chose Saya tonight.
No, Kevin chose Morel.
Oh, well.
No one picked Saya.
What?
Man.
And I took Garrett Cooper.
My unofficial pick was Amaya, so.
Oh.
You know what I would love to do?
What would you love to do?
When I go away and turn off my camera, I would love for that image to be the logo.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. I think. Oop.
That's
the way to do it. Edit audio avatar.
Where's that at?
It's the 3 dots. Thank you, Blue. It's such a great frog you have.
Yes, that's exactly what I want. Jake, you're so smart.
I'm so smart?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that.
I turn my camera off. Yeah.
Go pick out a good bev. Oh, I can do balloons. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I want to do balloons. How do I do balloons?
You have to hold it up for like an awkward amount of time.
I didn't do it. I wonder if this saves me.
Oh, maybe.
From
there's also this. Got dog hair in my mouth.
Oh, totally. My microphone is saving me from this.
We're having fun. Hang on, I'm looking at Dylan sent me Mark Crosby. I've come across this guy before. I don't know if this is who I was thinking. Oh, that's hot. What are we doing here?
Okay, I'm picking up a bev.
Get a bev.
And maybe a snack, and I'll see you in a bit.
Let's sneak a snack. Nice. All right, we got Nolan Jones up. The hero of yesterday's ball game. We got the okay, so he has his fingers crossed in his grip. And I know obviously it's a golf thing, but that's something that I've always thought about doing at the plate. I don't know. I feel like I haven't seen that from hitters. I wonder if there's no way he has his thumb tucked under there too. Dylan, if you're still listening, drop like a smiley face or something in the comments, because otherwise I won't talk about this other topic that I have. It's very Madison specific. Yo, okay. Dylan, I'm thinking of putting together, I'm launching a bunch of new stuff this year, this being one thing. I'm thinking of putting together a like creative meetup for designers, photographers, videographers, essentially like freelancers or anybody that, people that work in-house or agencies. And I just want to I want to get creatives together. I like there's so many of us in Madison, and I feel like we're not communicating well. I feel like we're like on different channels. I won't linger on that too long, but I just wanted to put it on your radar. KB, wow, little flare for Dansby.
I see I've missed nothing good for the Rockies.
KB just got a sinker up and in. Took it deep to Dansby. What'd you pick up?
I went on a really nice run this afternoon, so I'm having a not beer, a fake beer.
Fake beer.
Yeah. Sometimes when I have really good runs, I don't want to like sour that coming down runner's high with a beer. So I will.
How long? Like when you go on a run, like what's the average distance for you?
I don't know. It depends. Today I did 5. But Hey, is Dylan from Illinois?
Well, I believe Dylan lives in Madison now. I don't know Dylan's background. I know he's a graphic designer, Cubs fan. I don't remember how I found Dylan. I think I followed him on Twitter first. I don't remember how I found him, but
that hellscape of a site brought so many of us together.
For real, dude.
Oh, Loves Park. Yeah.
No shit. Wait,
I know
Dylan,
it well.
Okay, wait a minute. Dylan, I'm 30. Dylan, you don't have to give your exact age, but are you within like 3 years? Either direction? Ooh. Tough play. Nico got up for it. I love that Nico left the long hair going. As soon as it gets hot, he's gonna trim it though.
The flow.
Okay, Dylan's 31,
wow.
so there's a good chance that we might have been in the same class even. not from Rockford originally, but I went to a Bible camp one summer with all these kids from Rockford, Loves Park, and they went to Harlem High School, or they ended up going to Harlem High School. I won't give last names, but there was a Ben, there was a Parker, there was a Drake. Oh, there was one other guy that was like, and they all played baseball too. Parker, I always assumed that was like really. Drake went to play baseball. He went to community college and then I think like tried to play at Iowa, but I don't know if he made the team or what. I like kind of followed that Harlem High class of 2010. Okay, so they would have been 2012, I think. I think they were the same age as me, and I graduated high school in 2012. So, yeah.
And
I don't keep in touch with any of them. I went to Bible camp one time with them.
you all are such babies.
It's a whole other thing.
Such babies.
Are you class of 2008? 6? Okay.
I'm an old man, dude. Old as dirt.
Hey, we're all getting there. You know, it happens to all of us eventually. If we're lucky.
Yeah.
We're lucky to get old.
All right, so here's a fun story for you. And this is why I love being from Rockford so much.
Okay.
So when the Rockford Cubbies were still around, my grandma was like a really big volunteer for the Salvation Army up in Northern Illinois. And because of her volunteer work, she got to throw out the first pitch with Ernie Banks at a Rockford Cubbies game.
Oh, so sick.
And it's just kind of cool. But all of my grandma's Cubs memorabilia is in the Boone County Historical Museum.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a display.
Oh, that's so sick.
Mm-hmm.
Is it paternal or maternal? So does it have is Mahan on the like display case or
no, so it's my mom's. I have my mom's last name, and yeah, it's her mom, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
So is that the root of your baseball? Like, is your mom a big baseball fan too?
My mom is just kind of if the sport is good and it's on, she will watch. But my grandma is like the root of my baseball fandom.
Okay.
Every summer, she would always have her house decorated in July, and she would call it Cubs Christmas in July.
Oh,
She had like a Cubs tinsel tree, like a fake red, white, and blue tree. But I think I have a photo.
I wonder. See, I don't blame her, but I don't think Kim would let me do that. That's fine. She lets me get away with a lot of Cubs stuff. She came with me to opening day. It was very cold. Obviously, ended up raining. Excuse me. Wow, that's a weak burp too. Those are both so weak.
It was rough.
Ooh, it's top water.
Maybe you need to slam a beer to redeem yourself there.
No, man, I'm like I'm working on ibuprofen and Tylenol right now.
Fair enough.
I got sick from she'll never watch this. I got sick from my cousin's son at my nephew's birthday party on Saturday. And I know it because like I feel like every little kid's nose is oh my God.
Yeah, every little kid's nose.
Did you see that though? I don't know I don't know if we're matched up at I don't know like
you're just like a hair ahead. It's all happening in real time though for me too. So that's hilarious, man.
I mean, the wind
This
is
team
not
sucks,
great,
man.
Ooh. And McMahon's probably their best player.
Easily.
He is their best player.
Easily their best player. Man, how does that
Tovar
happen?
is a great defender though, too. I mean, but he wasn't going to get over there.
How does that happen, dude?
Dude.
All right, I'm sending you a picture. I wonder, is it possible to throw this picture up on the...
Yeah. I think you have to upload it as a banner, maybe? Like, create banner, and then...
Oh, no, that's not what I want.
Add banner. Yeah, it's in the banners, I believe.
I'm not well versed in.
You could do banner or you could create an overlay. Either one, I think, works. An overlay is in the brand menu.
Here, you know what? We'll just make it easy. There. For all the viewers. So that's
Happy
my
Christmas,
grandma.
baby.
And you can see her tree kind of in the corner there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Just, you know. It's kind of where it all started, and she never got to see it, you know. But
What year did she pass?
2005.
Okay. Yeah, think about that. I mean, at least it wasn't like she passed in like, the summer of 2016
Oh man.
or
Yeah. What a time though, man. That was such a good year.
I mean like 2015. Ooh, yeah, Willie, you got to hold him. Good job. 2015 and 16, dude, were both because like 2015 you were riding this high of like, oh, we aren't supposed to be here yet.
Right.
But we're kind of here. And you kind of started to see the pieces, falling into place. Castro taking second base and
yeah. I think in 2016, there was even an element of, are we supposed to be here? Like,
it's because the guys were so young.
right.
Like, is that the youngest World Series winning team of all? It's got to be, right?
Man, that's a good question.
I'm sure that's been talked about. I don't know.
I'm looking it up right now.
Pitching change. Kyle Freeland, 25.41 ERA. Who's coming in here?
5 youngest and oldest rosters to win a World Series.
Oh, Victor Vodnik, which sounds like a James Bond villain.
Wow.
He's coming in.
I just found, not that this is super credible, but I almost believe it. The 5 youngest rosters, the Cubs aren't even in the top 5. 1913 Philly.
What's like after like 1970 though?
No, well, yeah, I would have to look. But 1969, the Mets were 25.9 years old. St. Louis, 26.4 in 1942. The 5 oldest rosters are interesting. The 1945 Tigers, the 2001 Diamondbacks.
Yeah, the D-backs for sure. They had Gracie and Randy Johnson.
Yep. 2000 Yankees, 99 Yankees, and then the 85 Royals. Interesting. Man, Freeland. Getting piped around today.
We'll take it, man. It's a good way to start the broadcast.
I'm almost wondering if I have to have you send me an isolated logo.
I can. It's super easy, dude. Yeah, hang on. I unfortunately have to blow my nose. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're good. Jake's not allowed to come back. He's not allowed to come back because what a play. Man, it is a rough time to be a Rockies fan right now. Eek.
Did they just make another error?
No, it was just wonderful. I just love watching the collapse of the Rockies as a franchise. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. There are people that truly love this team and grew up rooting for this team, but at the same time, like, what were you all doing before '93? You were rooting for the Cubs because you're all watching WGN.
Probably true. Probably true. I wonder, like, how many transplants were like made up the Colorado or Denver, I should say, metropolitan population before, like, I don't know. I feel like, when do you think people started like really flocking in from the Midwest in droves?
Oh, probably when
Because
I was in,
you're before that.
yeah,
When you moved, it was before that.
I would say when I was in college, probably. So like kind of that 2006 to 2010 range. Wow, this is not going well for the Rockies right now.
Nick Madrigal has a chance to
If he does it, I will die.
3 hits, 5 RBIs. Let's go, Nicky.
If he does it, I'll die.
On stream, I'll hit B to bookmark it.
Grand slam.
Oh my god.
Nicky Mad's grand slam. I've never wanted anything more in my life.
Hey, 1143 OPS. Don't look now, but he's looking pretty good. They keep showing this. I'm bummed we're not on the same stream because they keep showing these like team graphics above the runners on the marquee broadcast. Like when the runners on base, they'll show the view from behind home plate, like from the press box, and they're like low res graphics. Like,
Weird.
oh, double play. Nope. Okay, 1 out. That's the patented cue ball high hopper. Magical right there.
What a disappointment he is. Couldn't give me my grand slam.
Bryce Harper has 3 homers tonight, including a grand slam.
Hey, remember when the Cubs should have signed him?
Dude, that's the biggest miss. That's the biggest miss in Cubs history. Oh, we have to pay Jason Hayward, so we can't sign Bryce Harper to a $25 million a year contract. Fuck
Chris
off.
would have stayed. Not that it would have
Totally.
aged well, but he would have stayed.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, that goes back to, okay, so I still have the top prospects up, don't I? Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna post this in the chat just so we can have them here.
Oh my gosh.
Sick. Okay.
So Sahadev Sharma on Twitter, I'm sure you follow him. He just posted something a little while ago. According to StatCast, Seiya Suzuki has put 17 balls in play this season. 11 have been at 95 miles an hour or higher.
That's pretty good.
His first inning homer tonight was rocketed at 115, the hardest hit ball of his career.
I'm serious, dude. I really do think he's going to get MVP votes. If this team makes the playoffs.
Well, they're doing what they should be doing. They are beating a bad team how they should be beating a bad team.
And that's like that and like we talked about, that hasn't been a given in the past. But you have to do that if you're going to win. Or if you're going to be a good team, you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
I feel like Freeland, under the Ross guidance, owned us for some reason.
Yeah, that feels right. That feels right.
And I know it's just one game, but I mean, Freeland didn't stand a chance tonight. He just didn't have it at all. You got to remember to choose which one you're posting for.
That's fine. Put it in both. We got someone watching on Twitch, apparently. I don't know who. Hey, if you're on Twitch,
Say hi.
Let us know. Because there's been, I think, one viewer on Twitch this whole time, but I also wonder if it's doing the same thing as Twitter, where it's saying that someone's viewing and it just stays there.
Man, I got to tell you, I mean, I know it's been fruitless for him, but Amaya's at bats tonight have been not bad.
Let's take a look really quick here.
Hard hit ball, kind of hard hit ball, and then a strikeout on a full count, though. I mean, man, that's not so horrible.
Ground out at 86.8 in his second AB.
Yeah, that was the soft one.
And 103.8 in his first AB.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's go back to the Bryce Harper talk, because I think you make a good point that for better or worse, KB would have stayed around.
Mhm.
And I think that's probably for worse.
Yeah, I mean,
but who knows? Like, things could have gone differently. Like, we've talked about, I think I've talked about, at least on Twitter, I know I've said that there is evidence, like medical evidence, that athletes don't recover the same way at high altitude. So not only is he having to deal with the travel of like going to lower altitude and readjusting and then coming back home and adjusting to high altitude, but then supposedly a guy who's been, unfortunately, I hate to put the label of injury prone on him, but
yeah.
Anyway, like, had he stayed in Chicago, like, who knows if the fall off would have been as severe because of the, the atmospheric, it's kind of funny to say, but the atmospheric weight, or whatever you want to call it, or the altitudinal, whatever. We're making up words. And so, yeah, if we were able to sign Harper, you keep KB, that carries more weight then going forward in free agent negotiations.
Right.
It puts you in a position where, like, if a trade for Shane Bieber is what puts the team over the top this offseason, that trade gets made, especially considering, like, some of the redundancies at the minor league level and the fact that, I mean, if all things then go to the same and you've got Harper playing first base, like, we don't even have to discuss like how that would have filled the Rizzo hole, like, whatever. But they got to make those moves when they're available, and not like, thank God we got Bellinger, but I think it's gonna end up being a 1-year contract.
Yeah, I assume he'll have a good enough year to be able to opt out and go somewhere else if he wants to. I mean, I guess where it kills me a little bit, and this kind of goes back to the who was right, Jed or KB, Rizzo, and Javi. It's almost like other players around the league saw how that went down, and didn't like it. Like, and I think I've voiced this to you before, is like, is it something where just like players are talking to other players? I mean, obviously they do that, but are they just talking to each other and saying like, you don't want to go there? Like, you're not going to be valued. You're not going to be appreciated. Like, because it didn't seem that was the case when Theo was here. Like,
yeah.
Uh,
Well, but then we have evidence that we know that Darvish told Seiya,
right, go to Chicago.
Yeah. When I'm sure the Padres would have liked to have Seiya.
Right.
But Darvish, like, I wonder what, I'm sure you could search Twitter and find fan reactions, but I wonder how Padres fans felt during all of that when that came out. Like, and that's a tough thing too, because, like, yes, you obviously signed an extension in San Diego this offseason, which was bold by San Diego, but hey, the guy throws 11 pitches, so 3 of them are going to age well, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just pulled that stat on my ass, but it seems like the right percentage.
No, I mean, at the same time, like, you're not wrong, and I think anyone in their right mind could tell you that Darvish didn't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to leave Chicago. It was purely a salary dump thing. I don't think
Totally.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was first choice to have him leave to begin with.
No, I think that's a good point too. I loved Darvish. I was jacked when we got him. I obviously it was a rough start, but I don't think I ever gave up on him.
No, and then when he
I'm sure a
rounded
lot
in
of, if I
form,
remember right, I'm sure a lot of Cubs fans did, but I don't think I did.
yeah, once he got healthy and settled in, like it was wonderful. And yeah, I mean, I loved having him. I thought it was great.
He was the stopper.
Mhm.
Like that was the win day guy. And I think Steele is
Yeah.
but that's basically what I wanted to get at, like putting the top 100 prospects down here, like, and we talked about it earlier. I just like don't see the star power right now. I don't
I
see
mean,
like in
of that,
like on the active roster, on the 26-man roster, and in the farm system. Like
right,
maybe Cade Horton, but I'm reluctant to put all my eggs in the basket of a pitching prospect ever because
right.
a shoulder injury could derail the entire career. You know, Tommy John derails the timeline.
Man, that was good framing by
So
Maya.
yeah, that was. I mean, that's the thing.
It was
As
not
a
a
side note, like
strike, but it was good framing.
and he just pulled another one there, and we
Yep.
knew this about him. We knew this about Amaya too. Like we knew that he was a good framer and could um, control a pitching staff. But yeah, man, I just like I think PCA is gonna be really fun to watch, but like I don't think that his bat is ever gonna be much more than just above league average, if he can
Yep.
even get to that. Like I don't think like I don't know. Hang on, I'm gonna
Of
look
those
this real
top
quick.
6, you know, who are your untouchables there that you posted? I think
I
I'm
don't think
staring
any
at
of them
them.
are untouchable.
Oh, I think just in terms of untouchable, maybe it's Owen Casey and Shaw, and then everyone else you can ship
Shaw,
out.
yeah, yeah. Like, and I want to say KC too, but we have to figure. I mean, there have been questions about his defense, but like, I don't remember. I watched pretty much every spring training game, and again, it's spring training, but like, I don't remember ever seeing Casey in the field and being like, that dude's a liability.
Right.
I think it's more likely that he ends up. Like, I wonder if he ends up playing more first base this year.
So I think, and this is something that I just thought of because one of my biggest gripes over the last year or so has been Ross
Yeah.
and his deployment and his use of the talent or lack thereof on this team, however you want to phrase it, or when players get called up or how they're situationally used. is it is it that these players just lack pure star power, or or is coaching legitimately that bad to
Mm.
where it takes what is deemed to be by many a good farm system and it makes it look average at best?
No, I mean, I think that's a question, but I don't think like before these guys get called up, all that we have to judge them on is their minor league track record.
Totally.
And I just don't think that they're and I, you know, college for any of the guys that are, you know, college grads versus prep players, but I just don't think that there's anybody that I look at in the farm system that says to me like this guy is a can't miss superstar. And
Mm.
so like I guess maybe your question is more like was there a lack of development at the major league level that prevented them from becoming
That's
superstars?
that to me,
Maybe.
I think is the bigger question. Like,
Yeah.
what? Because the Brewers had some really. Oh my God, that was beautiful. Nico, man, I love Nico's swing. It's so violent.
I know. I know.
um,
It's like he's chopping wood.
yeah, like I guess that's where I come into it because the Brewers, last year I remember them having a few young players that just killed us. Oh gosh, who's that burly blonde-headed kid that they have? Um,
Weimer?
yeah,
Yeah, Weimer didn't even make the roster this year out of spring.
no, but he killed us last year. Um, gosh, I don't know. There were other. I feel like I don't know. I feel like
They
the
they
Brewers
have
under
a
Craig
bunch
just
of
had players that would just show up out of nowhere and boom.
yeah, right. And I mean that's something that like I think we always thought about, like looking at the preseason predictions. The Brewers never had guys that stood out on paper, but somehow. So yeah, that feeds directly into your point, but somehow Council was able to get wins out of them. And I
Right,
don't think it can be overlooked that they had like three Cy Young caliber arms in their starting rotation, and they went from the best closer in the league to the best closer in the league, when Hader got traded. So pitching and defense wins ball games, right? Like
right.
they had Bryce Terang, Willie Adames, who played first for them? Did Rowdy play?
Rowdy was playing first a lot.
Or who else? They had somebody else too.
Didn't they have
But
Danny for
I
a little
thought
bit?
so, but yeah.
Or am I just confusing chubby guy for chubby guy?
No, they did have Vogelbach, or do they have Vogelbach now? Because I don't think Tellez is on the Brewers anymore.
No, he's not.
The big beefy baseball guys, big beefy baseball boys have all swapped teams.
Danny Burgers is playing for the Blue Jays.
That's right. Which is confusing because Tellez played for the Blue Jays before he played for Milwaukee.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, Vogelbach was in Milwaukee in 2020 and 2021.
Say I just got rung up on an egregious call.
Oh my God. Just Rowdy is in Pittsburgh.
That's right. That's right.
But he was in Milwaukee. Oh, they had Rowdy and Danny at the same time in 2021. And then 2023 is when Rowdy was there also. Those guys are smuggling hams, man. Smuggling hams.
Where does that come from?
I think it's just a generic term that I've heard and liked, and I thought it was funny. I can't remember even where I heard it from, but I think it's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, because when you first sent that to me, I understood what it meant, but I was like, is that from like is it a was it I thought maybe it was a reference that I was missing.
Oh yeah. It's an Urban Dictionary thing. So yeah.
Mm,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
read
but
the
I thought
Urban
maybe it was like
Dictionary.
from like a yeah, I saw that. I thought maybe it was from like a TV show or something. I've got a coworker that's constantly referencing like Always Sunny. Let's see, like Always Sunny, Tim and Eric stuff. And like I
Ooh.
love both. I love both of those shows, but I haven't seen all of either of them. So I miss the references. And I'm just like left sitting there like, ah, okay. Like luckily it's not face to face, so I can pretend that it's funny because I like he slacks them to me. But
Right.
what are you gonna do? So
Yeah,
I thought that I was missing a reference. I thought I was missing a reference from Always Sunny.
no, I'm good for a. I'm always good for like a movie quote or reference, and definitely a Parks and Rec reference. But
See, that I think I'd be more likely to get. Have you watched it multiple times through? Like all
Mhm.
the way through?
I have a
I've only
Ron
watched it
Swanson
once.
tattoo.
I think you've sent me a picture of that.
Probably.
Okay, I was just thinking the other day. I think I want to get the Louisville Slugger Powerized logo
Ooh, cool.
tattooed on my forearm. I think that's such a great like baseball because I wanted to get my I've got a Louisville Slugger with my grandpa's name on it that he got invited to go. He worked with old Cubs catcher Randy Hundley. Have I told you this story before?
I don't think so.
So he worked
It
with
doesn't sound
Randy
familiar.
Hundley. Okay. So they worked together in the off season. And one spring, Randy invited my grandpa to spring training. And Randy was trying to get him like his own Louisville Slugger with his signature, with my grandpa's signature, like etched into the bat. But Louisville Slugger only does that for like players that they actually sponsored. So my grandpa still got the bat. He didn't know that the signature was like originally supposed to be, that was the original intention. But he still got the bat, and it's just like, Donald Angelina, and just like a regular font. But I wanted to get that tattooed on my forearm, but I was like, that's a really big commitment. And I feel like I've seen a lot of long, straight tattoos on forearms that like warp weirdly, depending on how your arm moves.
They
Um,
can, but I mean, I have a few on my forearms that they're okay. They
is
don't
it like
warp.
the whole length though?
Yeah, I've got some
Oh, we got
serious.
strip tease here, ladies and gents.
Yeah, I mean,
Sick.
and I mean, it doesn't warp, and I have multiple just kind of surrounding the whole thing. So,
Okay.
but it
Okay.
it
Maybe
holds
maybe you
well. I
changed my
mean,
mind.
what's nice here is like, it's pretty muscly and it stays pretty muscly
Yeah.
basically your entire life. Like there's not a lot of give here. So,
Yeah.
also I'm wearing a Rockford Peaches shirt.
Man, my guy's Rockford it out. What do I have it under here? I don't even know. Oh, PD USA. Got PD's new
Oh,
tour
nice.
merch. Um, is that
Gonna
an
go watch 3 seasons
homage?
of the OC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
See,
Yeah.
I kind of want to get the Cubs homage hoodie because as I was at the game yesterday, I was wearing. Ooh, Amaya just took a foul tip off the mask. Whew, that's scary, man.
It got all mask too.
Yeah, damn. Ooh, hit the bottom of it, under his like
Yeah.
his chin. It just
He's all
flipped the
right.
mask off. That's gotta be scary though,
Wow.
dude.
That was like an inch away from hitting his throat, but it
Yeah,
hit the chest pad when it careened down.
yeah.
Oh, nightmarish.
Phew.
Yeah, I have one of the homage Cubs hoodies. It's really nice. It's comfy.
Yeah, I realized, and it kind of makes sense, obviously, because it's a summer sport. Like, I don't really need Cubs hoodies, but I
Right.
only have one. I had another one that I really like, but I've kind of grown out of it. And I told Kim, I was like, it's yours now. It's a really nice Nike hoodie. It's like flocked, so it's got like that velvet texture where
Nice.
the font is. And I
Yeah.
got that from the Cubs shop in like I don't know 2017 maybe, and I knew I needed a large, but they didn't have a large. They only had a medium, and it fit me. But it was like $120 because it's a Nike hoodie, and it's still a lot of money, but especially for someone for me, I had just graduated from high school or from college.
It's a
and
lot.
that was a ton of money,
Right.
and, it's still a great hoodie. I love it, but I tried it on the other day. I was gonna wear it out, and I was like, "Nope, this is" because now I'm wearing larges and XLs just because I like extra space.
Yep.
But long story short, I need to get a new Cubs hoodie. Oh my god, did you see that two-seamer that he just missed? That
Yeah.
was
What
filthy.
the
Oh my god.
what a I hate umps. I hate umpires. I hate
Inconsistency.
umpires.
I can't wait to see the ump scorecard on this game. Oh,
Oh,
wait,
it's
no, it
gonna
looks
be
like he did get it. He did get it.
Oh, he called it?
Apparently, I mean, it said it was an 0-2 count
Says
before
so
that
too.
pitch.
Maybe he was late. Maybe he was performing. You know,
Yeah, I don't know.
umps like
I
to
mean,
perform
because
sometimes.
Amaya was set up so inside, and it came back up over the middle of the plate up.
It was beautiful though.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Actually, it's kind of interesting watching the Rockies stream. For those that need explanation because of MLB and its wonderful blackout rules, further exacerbated by the problems of the Rockies, Nuggets, and Avalanche in the state of Colorado not being available on TV. I am using the Rockies.tv subscription to watch this game, and I have to watch the Rockies feed. So I'm seeing basically opposite coverage of what Jake is seeing. So he's seeing some fun Cubs Nuggets and all the little good things that the Cubs have during their broadcast, and the Rockies have none of that. But that's
Yeah.
all right.
Nasty
But
curveball from Assad there, though.
yeah. But our homie Taylor McGregor got her start with the Rockies franchise, so maybe they're not all bad.
Trying to think other Larry Walker. And the list ends there.
Yep.
I've never been a Helton fan.
Yeah. What's funny is Todd Helton during his career was probably the best quarterback in the state of Colorado. He
I
was
forgot he played college football, didn't he?
at Tennessee. So I think
Yeah, that's right.
he and Peyton were in
Yes,
college together,
yes. That sounds right. Yeah, yeah.
which is crazy. I I did like Bo's dad, Dante, back in the day.
True. I have a signed Dante Bichette. No, my dad did the K challenge. I don't know
Oh yeah.
if you yeah.
Yeah.
So Bichette must have gotten a hit off of Kerry Wood. So we got pictures of my dad giving Dante Bichette K shirts, like dropping him a K shirt
Cool.
from the left field bleachers. And my dad made a big deal out of he was like I must have been probably like 8-ish at the time, but there was a point where I think Dante Jr. Was playing the Little League World Series. And my dad, when we had dropped the shirt down to Dante, my dad had said, or maybe even Dante pointed out, like, "Oh, my son is like the same age as your son." And sure enough, like 3 or 4 years later, Dante Jr. was playing in the Little League World Series, and my dad pointed out, like, "Hey, this is the guy we gave the shirt to. It's his son
Cool.
playing." Yeah, kind of an I don't know if I'd call it a full circle moment, but cool little magical diving stop.
Yeah, your boy
He's
almost
having a
didn't
game.
he almost didn't have enough arm strength.
Yeah, that's a tough throw though, man. And KB can still run.
I know. I just got to give him some, a little guff because he's a small man. He's a small man.
You saw the picture of him standing next to Luke Little during the
That's
lineup
so
yesterday,
funny.
right?
Who was in charge of that?
I mean, it was in alphabetical order, so like, what can you do? You can't. Oh, sorry, we got the alphabet wrong.
Maybe you should have
Magical is
done
supposed
it
to be next to
differently.
Little. Yeah, like maybe like based on service time or something could have made sense.
Or number. Just
Yeah.
number would have been more tolerable at that point.
Yeah, he would have stood next to Nico, and that would have been a little bit less embarrassing for him.
Yeah.
I think it's funny too, like that he stands straight up in the box
Yeah.
instead of crouching and taking advantage of his height. And I also feel like crouching a little bit is more of an athletic, like powerful stance.
Totally. I also, I don't know. I think it is a little deceiving when he stands. Um, yeah,
I mean, he could shrink his strike zone.
right.
Like, isn't there a movie where like a guy gets in the box and like stands like knees to elbows, like
Oh yeah,
daring them to throw a strike?
yeah. Alex Pat on Twitter earlier today or earlier in this game goes, the ref wants to keep this game or ump wants to keep this game moving. Talking about that Saya call.
Yeah, apparently. God.
That's funny. Did you see Quas is getting warmed up in the bullpen?
Yeah, yeah. As the ump calls another outside corner.
Shout out to the Iowa Hawkeyes last night for saving us
Caitlin,
from Kim Mulkey.
41 from CC.
Man, what a demon.
Dude, I think you and I have talked about this, but like I just feel like the WNBA is gonna see such a rise in viewership with this class of
Yeah,
because
because Angel's super talented too, and she's what I think she's projected 7th.
Haley Van Lith is also
Haley Van
on
Lith.
LSU, and then Cameron Brink.
Yeah. Uh, although Haley got cooked last night. Oh, Caitlin put her in a blender, and Kim just kind of left her.
There's a little bit of a height mismatch there.
A little
Kinda
bit, but
unfair.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel all that bad for Haley.
No. Wait, side note, they're showing they showed the kid catching the Morel home run. Have you ever caught a home run at a game?
I have a Rockies game,
Really?
but yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Not like in the air, like off the bounce.
in the air.
That's so sick, dude. That's
Yeah,
gotta be the best bit. So did you have your glove or was it barehanded?
it was bare hand. I do not bring gloves to games.
It's been a while since I've brought a glove to a game, and part of me thinks like, especially for those balls in between innings, that the outfielders warm up with. But I'm at the age now where obviously if I caught one, I'd just give it to a kid anyway. I
Yeah,
don't
I
need.
mean, that's what I did.
Do you remember who hit it?
Arenado.
Oh man.
But like, I didn't care. I just found the next nearest kid in an Arenado jersey and gave it to him. I mean, and then a couple years ago, I was at one of the Cubs games here in Denver, and one of the Cubs players fouled it off, and I was kind of sitting along the third baseline, and I came bouncing over into like the row behind me, and I was with a buddy, and he scrambled to go get it. And I told him, I was like, give it to these girls in front of us. And there were these 2 little girls there with their dad. And it turned out it was their first Cubs game.
Uh,
And I was like, give that ball to one of them. I don't care which one you give it to. And I was like, you never keep it. Like I have a serious like thing about that. Like last year when PCA was playing in Denver, Like he was up to bat. I think the bases were loaded, and I was sitting with some other Cubs fans, and there were some kids in front of us in Cubs jerseys, and this one guy was like, "Oh man, if I catch this, like, I'm gonna do some negotiating." And I was like, "You could just give it to that kid in front of you. Like,
Yeah.
let the kid negotiate. Like, I don't know. I'm not that hard up for any of it." So
Yeah. So the coolest thing that was ever done for me, at least that I remember, I'm sure somebody gave me, um I'm sure someone gave me, like, a ball when I was a kid, but I don't remember, which I guess kinda defeats that whole narrative, but, I don't remember much of childhood. That's, whatever, that's neither here nor there.
yeah,
I My 25th birthday, Kim surprised me and had, like, my basically, like, my whole family meet us at Wrigley Field, and, I remember saying something like, hang on, do I have it here? Remember if I have it in the drawer here. Put it somewhere because I didn't want like, it was starting to get sun faded, but this guy behind me, um, heard that it was my birthday, and he had caught a ball during batting practice or something, and he said, "Here, you can have this baseball." And I said, "Oh, well, I want everybody, my entire family here to sign it." And I was like, "Will you sign it? Like, sign your name on here. I wanna remember who gave me the ball for this memory." So, I have it somewhere. I gotta get, like, a UV protected case because
cool.
that's definitely, um, definitely my favorite baseball that I have. I mean, I've got a Kerry Wooden hat ball up there, and then I've got a Fergie and Ernie balls right here on my desk, but that memory of the Cubs won, and
Yeah.
my god, I was deathly hungover that morning trying to get myself prepared for the game, but it was well worth it, and once I got in the stadium, I was good, so
Yeah, being hungover, least of my least favorite thing nowadays. Um,
yeah, they come easier as
I
as
guess
we
we
get
can
older too.
break some news on our stream. Pirates have Joey Bart now.
Oh, they claimed Joey Bart?
Yeah.
Did they have to trade? Does it say that they had to trade, or was it? I don't know if it was just
Says
like trade
yeah, it's a
waivers or.
trade. Pirates are acquiring catcher Joey Bart from the San Francisco Giants. Boo.
Hmm.
I mean, not that that really impacts us, but it could.
Well, that's
I mean, it impacts us, but not that Bart would have had space on this team. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, that is the
it
Pirates
makes the
have Henry
Pirates better.
Davis. Yeah, I mean, they're that catching tandem, and who
Yeah.
they've got another guy that I'm forgetting, but hang on, I'm
What's
gonna
your ideal
go.
trade package for Bieber looking like right now?
Yeah, no kidding. Hang on, let me brainstorm that. I'm gonna go grab some more water.
Yep.
Need anything?
No, I'm good. How
I
fast can
gotta
you
ask,
get
man. I gotta
here?
ask.
Good inning from the Cubs here, making the Rockies work for it.
And there's my dinger.
There it is.
There's my dinger. Garrett Cooper.
Yeah.
Oppo, baby. Right center field. Give me the balloons. Give me those balloons. Can I get some lasers? Can I get some lasers in here before I go downstairs? Nope.
No
Nope.
lasers.
That's okay. Next
Man,
time.
that was sweet. There was Jake Stinger followed by a Nicky Mads whack right to Molina. Wow. It had some pop on it. What's fantastic about streaming is people get to watch you eat and miss your mouth. That sucks. For those in the Chicago area, the Rockies broadcast doing a nice job of talking about Kwas's journey and talked about before he was steadily on a roster, the odd jobs he was working, including being at FedEx to support his family. Pretty cool. Just a small little reminder: don't give up on things you want to do. Don't give up on those dreams. Work hard. He's turned out to be quite a serviceable person in the bullpen. Love the guy. Good effort.
Just caught the tail end of that and remember them talking about that. Remember them talking about that last season during a Cubs broadcast.
Yeah, the Rockies broadcast was just Spilly was giving him some kudos. So,
is it Spielberg's? Ryan Spielberg's?
Yeah.
Is that how you say his last name?
Yep.
That's one thing that I really want to try to do my best at on here is
say names right.
Proper pronunciation. Like he's probably going to be in the Cy Young conversation this season. Left-handed starting pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. And his name is not Tariq Skubal. It's Tarek
Skubal.
Tarek. Not Tariq.
Yeah,
Tarek. And then there's another guy that drives me insane. Everybody's saying Estuary Ruiz, who actually just got sent down by the A's today. And there's more controversy there. Yeah, well, hang on. Estuary.
Say his name right.
Ruiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's talk about that for a second. Who was the other? Wasn't there another guy that was sent down as part of that too?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but the conspiracy theory here that has some credence to it is that because they were both wearing bracelets that were part of a gathering for the anti-ownership group for the A's, that they were sent down. I buy that.
Totally.
Didn't Ruiz steal like 60 some odd bases last year?
Yeah.
And then there was some like weird commentary.
Yeah, 68 bases last year. And he was batting 429.
Right.
I mean, only 3 games, but he was batting 429 this season.
Right. But like the weird comment from, your coaching is in order to steal bases, you have to get on base. Well, those numbers indicate that he was on base and was doing fine.
Yep. Yep, indeed.
Absolute garbage. And actually last night the Tropicana closed down in Vegas, so they're well on their way to building that stadium.
That sucks, man.
It's trash. It's absolutely trash.
It's almost as bad as me leaving Happen Say out of my lineups tonight because I thought the game was going to get rained out, and then I forgot to change it. So there's that.
What's wrong with you? You know better than that.
Well, okay. Looks like the Tigers game got rained out or delayed. So yeah, I have 2 guys in my lineup, Kelnick and Kerry Carpenter, and those should have been Saya and Hap, and I am beside myself. Luckily, I'm playing the worst team in the league, so I'll win. Doesn't matter.
I had to give up playing fantasy sports. It's just not something I can do. Oof.
Totally is interesting, man.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I'd like to do. Like I'd rather catch an opposing team's home run so I could send that back.
Yeah.
I'd throw my arm out seeing how far I could chuck it.
I'd throw my back out probably, but that's just...
Well, it's tough like being on the bleachers like that too.
Oh my gosh, the Rockies have a ski helmet with goggles for their home run helmet. Oh my god.
Let them have some fun. They don't get to have a lot of fun. Let them have some fun.
They just had the fun of a 2-run homer. I want the shutout against this team.
We got a shutout yesterday.
Yeah, well, I wanted another one.
Might get one by default tomorrow. I'm gonna look at the weather really quick.
That was just a meatball right to him, though. As a designer and someone with tremendous artistic talent, does it bother you that the purple of the jerseys doesn't match the purple of the hats?
Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. Hang on. Well,
Oof.
we're seeing just their helmets right now, so
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised because it's a Nike jersey and a New Era hat. I mean, it should be like I'm sure the hat color hasn't changed, and it's Nike that's changed the purple of the jersey definitely looks different this year.
Oh, yeah. It's like almost blue.
I was gonna say there's way more blue than red this year.
Mhm.
And I will say, like, the the Rockies logo could definitely use an update, but I've always had a soft spot for the purple and silver. Purple, black, and silver is a great combo.
Mhm.
Because like you don't see that. You don't like I can't name another purple. I mean the Kings, the Sacramento Kings.
Oh my gosh. This is not great.
That's all right. That's all right. Nico did everything he could. Oh, he was mad.
Yeah, he was. I'm not seeing the same reaction from him.
No, I know. I
I
know.
saw I just saw the hit perspective, and then I saw Nico slam his hand.
Yeah. And yelled. He yelled. One thing I like about the Cubs jerseys that I don't understand why it's not like a uniform thing, like why all teams don't do it is the raglan
Mm,
sleeves.
yeah.
I don't know when I became a big fan of that, but I have been for at least a few years, but I think it's a good look.
Dansby almost kind of bumbled that up.
Hey, we got our first seventh inning stretch. What are we doing? Nothing. I'm not singing.
I thought
Oh,
about that.
I'm hitting a wall here, if you can't tell.
Oh, I am too, but we're in it for the long haul.
Yeah. I might check
Oh,
my fantasy lineups, but that's okay.
yeah, talk to us about your fantasy. It's also, it's a blowout game. It's not like we're
Yeah, not a lot going on.
no.
I don't know, man. No one cares about my fantasy. Oh, our 100 are definitely 149 active viewers
Yeah, there
don't
you go.
care about. Um, I don't know. The thing that I love the most is I'm in a dynasty league, and I just love the long haul of that, and trying to accumulate the right talent, and make the right moves, and draft the right players, and um, the like if you drop someone to waivers, you better be positive because if someone else picks him up and that player like turns it on, you're never seeing him again. Like that's
Right.
because we've got 55 players rostered and you keep 50 at the end of every season. So
Hmm.
there's a decent amount of churn because like fringe players will get dropped and picked up quite a bit, but trying to think like Spencer Strider was a waiver pickup 2 years ago. And I remember like hearing about him on podcasts, and I was like, I don't know.
Pretty
And
good, pretty good pickup.
yeah, so I didn't make that mistake again, and I picked up Cole Reagans last year, and that's been pretty good for me. Um, Yeah, I'm in four leagues though, and I'm kind of
Whew.
thinking that this one league that I'm checking right now, I might drop out of next year.
Okay. If you look, the hats and the jerseys, the tint is off on the purple.
Okay, hang on now. I'll pay attention.
Craig just looks way more sinister in a dugout than Russ. Craig looks like he's trying everything in his power to ruin your day.
All right, show me these brims. Do you want the Cubs to bring the red brim back?
I don't have a preference on it. I'd be a sucker and I'd get one anyway, but I definitely don't have a preference.
Yeah, I can't really decide. I feel like I want to say at the game yesterday that was on the video board, like one of the things that they like asked the players. Maybe it was Talkman or Bellinger, I think, was the one that said they wanted to see the red brims back. And looking at these brims, yeah, the Rockies hat, the brim, the purple is like a little bit lighter.
It is. Yep.
Just a little bit lighter.
It's so disturbing to me.
I'd just be annoyed if I was the player. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure some of them don't care, but
like you can't get this right. You can't get just this one thing right. Yeah. Oh, that's hideous. Speaking of hats, I missed out on my chance to get the Fanatic batting practice hat from the Phillies.
It's sold out?
It's sold out.
I'd be shocked if it doesn't come back.
I think that's such a cool hat. It's like what the here's an It's Always Sunny reference where Charlie is like, it's the Philly Fanatic.
The Frenetic.
Say
That's a show that I like. I want to try watching with Kim because I think she might think it's funny.
It's so inappropriate at times.
Yeah, that's why I'm not sure if she'd get into it, but
I have this thing where I'm surprised I like that show because I have this thing about characters in TV shows or movies that can't get out of their own way. And I don't like characters like that.
yeah.
I just don't like characters that can't get out of their own way. So to me, it's bothersome. Like some of their behavior is bothersome. But it's like for example, I recently just watched through The Office for the first time in my life, which is a crazy thing to admit. Man, catchers are taking a beating in this game.
Yeah, that's a rough hit.
And so like I realize he's a majorly important character, but Michael Scott, for example, like he's so annoying to me. I hate that character. And there's an episode of The Office that I refuse to watch, and it's the Scott's Tots episode. And
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, I was trying to think of, like Belly.
No, I won't watch that episode. And
Belly off the floor.
Yep. Man, he smoked the hell out of that.
Yeah, that was tanked. Wow.
Man, the Dingers boys are having a good night on picks. Morel, Belly, and Cooper.
Coop.
Holy crap. Well, we got those 2 runs back, so
that's all good. No, I know what you're saying about the Scott's Tots though. Like that's and you're not alone. Like Kim, okay, so Kim didn't want to watch The Office, and she had seen some of it when it first came out, and she didn't think it was funny back then. And I was like, well, we were like 12 when it first came out. And I said, it's the pandemic. Like, we have time to watch shows. Like, I promise you it's funny. Oh, Morel, warning track. I didn't think you got that. Said, I promise you it's funny. Like, we don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't like it. And then
Right.
she ended up loving it. Because she like, when she watched as a kid, she probably watched it passively, thought it was stupid, and didn't understand the humor. Because we were kids.
Right.
But yeah,
it's definitely
that
funnier as I got older.
I mean, Scott's Tots, goddamn.
Oh, that episode, I can't. Oh my gosh, dude.
Hey, Mr. Scott, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Make our dreams
No,
come true.
no, what are you doing? Oh,
You know whose
no.
dreams I want to make come true? The Rockies fans. My Road to the Show character. But do you know what happened? Do you know what problem I ran into?
Yeah, didn't you hurt your finger?
Well, okay, the funny thing is, like, that could be my thumb in real life. But no, yeah, my player slid into third base and tore a ligament. But no, real life problem. It got MLB The Show 23 got taken off of Xbox Game Pass.
Oh.
And so if I want to keep playing, I have to buy MLB The Show 23.
Nah.
And I don't really want to do that right now.
No.
And so, like, the thing that I'm saying to myself is, okay, I've got like two design projects that I need to do. Because in theory I'll get paid for them. They're like, there's nothing in writing for either of these projects, but they are for like friends who own businesses.
Sure.
And
the expectation is that they would give you something.
Yeah. Like, one of them I know I will get paid, but we didn't talk about money. And the other one, like, I think he'll pay me, but I don't. I brought up doing it for him. I don't know. It's kind of a weird, like, verbal agreement, but yeah, I gotta finish those. And I told myself, like, okay, when I finish those, then I can buy Show 23 and continue my experiment. I'm in it, dude. Like,
you're so devoted. I appreciate it.
I don't know why, but I just, like, so part of it is, like, I want to see if the Rockies will ever spend money, number one. And two, I'm really curious because my player is about to enter his last season, like his last off season of arbitration. And I want to see, like, what contract negotiation, like, if the Rockies will offer me a contract, and if I say, like, no, I just want, like, a 1-year contract at, like, X dollars, I wonder if they will do that, or if I have to commit to, like, a long-term contract with them. Because I want to do it a year at a time until until I win the World Series with them, and then I move on from Denver.
You're not going to win the World Series with them.
Someday.
They went to a World Series. They got swept, man.
Yeah, but they didn't have a fictional 99 overall two-way player, so.
I don't know what to tell you. You'd be hoping and dreaming for a long time.
I just like the moves or lack thereof that have been made in the offseason. It just is like, what the fuck?
Dude, Morel, OPS 1.171. Cooper 1.643. These are some impressive. This is an impressive day for seriously inflated numbers because it's only game 5.
Some world beating going on.
Yeah. So anytime I play the show, there's one team and one team only where I will purposely change the difficulty to the easiest it can be and put up as many runs as I can. And it's the Rockies.
When you're playing against them?
Yeah, I'll change the difficulty on purpose.
What did the Rockies do to you, man? What did Dick Monfort do to you?
Dude, no, I mean, I hate the idea of the theory being if owning a baseball team is too expensive for you, maybe you shouldn't own a baseball team. That's where I stand on it, you know?
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like, well, if I beat their brakes off and score 50 runs in a game, then maybe they'll relocate. Also,
yeah, I forgot that's a possibility now
yeah,
in the new games.
yeah, teams will relocate. Also, something very funny that not everyone would know if you don't live in Denver or if you are not watching a Rockies broadcast, but if the Rockies score 7 runs in a game, if you go to participating Taco Bell locations here in Denver, you will get free tacos.
How many? 7?
No, I think it's they're cheap. Yeah, I don't know. It's like one, maybe it's a buy one get one. I think that's the. I need to refresh myself on this. It's been a while since the Rockies have scored 7 runs.
I remember a few seasons ago, the Bulls had something where, like, if an opposing player, I think, missed 2 free throws, everybody got free Portillo's hot dogs, I want to say.
Okay. Here's the Rockies thing. It's when the Rockies score 7 or more runs, you can get 4 tacos for $2 at Taco Bell. It's a good deal.
That feels pretty good.
Taco Bell's cutting their losses. Now it's from 4 to 6 p.m. the following day. They're like, man, this team never scores.
So that totally, yeah. Oh my God. Wait a minute, though. Like, yeah, with weed being legal in Colorado.
Yeah, totally. Is it raining? Looks like it's raining. This is the second time Brian's gotten clunked today.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking that same thing. Fans are walking away. Yeah,
It is raining.
Maybe it started raining a little bit. No, the bleachers. They're showing the bleachers and no one's moving.
No, look at the helmet. There's water on that helmet.
Side note, I'm a big Talkman guy.
I like Mikey. Mikey T, baby.
He just feels like a guy that's going to get the job done. Do you know who I think Talkman is the new Chris Coughlin?
Oh, I like
Is that a good comparison?
Yeah. Like you just kind of know what you're always going to get.
Yeah, like I think he's just dependable. I think that Talkman is I'd have to look at the metrics, but just based on what I remember, I think Talkman is a much better fielder than Coughlin was. And I don't know if I wonder how the bats compare, but they just feel like it feels like Talkman is like a good 4th outfielder, like the same way that Coughlin was a good 4th outfielder. I'm glad to have those guys in the mix for a team that's competing. We were actually, when we were walking into the park yesterday, I think Kim pointed out there was someone walking in front of us, and she goes, "They've got Talkman on the back of their hood." And I said, "Wait a minute." She goes, "Is that Talkman's wife?" And I said, yeah, it totally is.
Oh,
And
cool.
so I think I think I mentioned this on Dingers. Um, Talkman and his wife went to college with two of our really good friends here in Madison.
Yeah, that's right. That's
And
right.
yeah, and I know that Mrs. Talkman, whose name I believe is Eileen, stood in the wedding of our friends. And I
Cool.
want to say our friend Aaron stood in the Talkman's wedding. I'm not positive though. And I really want I said to Kim, I was like, we got to say something. Like we should say something to her. But she was like just far enough ahead of us that like it would have been weird to kind of like jog to like get
Yeah.
up behind her and be like, "Hey, are you Eileen?" And then what? You know, she would like she had like what looked like an overnight suitcase. So I wonder if like that made me wonder if I have so many questions about like the inner workings of like the MLB family because I'm guessing that maybe she like they flew in late from Texas the night before and maybe they stayed in the city that night versus going back to their suburban home.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know because I was like, why else would she have the suitcase? But that, I mean, that makes sense to me that that would be the reason why.
Right.
Yeah, I'm super curious. Like, are the MLB wives like are they cliquey or are they all like pretty? I'm sure there are some that are. I'm sure there are some that are super nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear like I think, and I'm sure that this like podcast or interview exists out there somewhere. That's stay fair. Garrett Cooper, stay hot, my guy.
Yeah.
He could have gotten a triple, but I like that pro move of staying at second.
Yeah. You don't need to do anything.
Hey, he's a single shy of the cycle.
Yeah, he is. Triple, double, homer, and
Wouldn't
yeah,
that be something? Garrett Cooper, let's go, baby.
it's a good hit. Oh yeah, that was fair by quite a bit.
Madge,
Considerable margin.
I need this fourth RBI from Madrigal here.
you, you're just
Why?
greedy.
Because I'm a sicko.
You're so greedy right now. His
I just
last
want to
at
see
bat
it.
was interesting, man. He got good contact on it. It's just liner right back to Molina.
He just ripped the line drive foul. I I just want to see Madrigal like spraying line drives over the infield's heads.
Well, in theory, like good coaching and proper deployment, that's what he would end up doing anyway.
Yeah. Like, see, that's a pitch he's got to lay off of. I know
Yeah.
you can put the bat on anything, but dude, 0-2, that's not close enough that you should be
No.
like that ball started low and then broke low. Like,
He
and I
should be
like
able
and
to
you
hit
could
that, man.
well, he did.
No, he should be able to hit that soundly.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. Fernando Tatis would have taken that deep.
Totally.
So I know that I did this in the um Amaya's gonna reach. Come on. No, he wasn't. There's no reason to hustle that out. That's fine.
No.
Um, so I know I did this in our calendar graphic, but where do you stand on Jose Altuve nowadays? What are your thoughts on Altuve?
Um, I mean, look, like as a team, or I guess I'll put it this way, as an organization, I don't know that people will ever really move past the whole thing. I think it'll be sporadic that keep they'll always get some sort of crap for it.
Yeah,
Fan bases will always just kind of give them crap for it. Um, that was, yeah, I was like, wait a minute, there's a pitcher violation anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I kind of land on this anyway. So, Pete Rose, you could bet your butt off. You still got to hit the ball. Barry Bonds, you can juice yourself up. You still got to hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You could even translate it into other sports. One of people's favorite examples of like cheating in sports is Tom Brady, for example, like where, oh, he cheats, yeah, but he also beat everyone's butt regardless. Like,
Yeah.
like the whole Deflategate thing. I sit there and I look at it as like they could have played that game with a beach ball and they still would have beat the Colts 45-7 in that game. So I guess when I come down to it is like, yeah, you could know what pitch is coming, yada yada yada. You still got to hit the ball. I'm tired of talking about it. We're
Yeah.
7 years
7
removed
years.
from it
Yeah.
now. Like, it's obviously got no bearing on how they're playing now. The players, do I think there should have been some player punishment? Yeah, I do, but that's not what occurred. And I think it's just time to move on. He's a great player. I don't know how
Yeah.
else to say it. Like he's still a great player. Like he was good even before 2017. So it doesn't, it
He could
doesn't.
be a Hall of Famer. Like, I don't think it's
Right.
insane to say that Altuve could be a Hall of Famer.
No, I don't.
And
I don't think so either.
I'm over it.
I am
Like,
too.
it happened. We don't know everything of what, like, was he wearing a buzzer during that home run celebration? Probably not. Like, I can't imagine that you just take a guy deep, and the thing that you're thinking about running the bases is like, don't let anybody know that you've got this buzzer. Don't let anybody know that you're wearing, a piece of technology under your jersey, to the point that, like, when your teammates go to rip your jersey off, you say no because you remember that that's what's underneath your jersey.
Yeah, I don't know the footage of Luke Little warming up right now, and Mads behind him is the funniest thing. That's real life size. Uh,
We've got Reed in the comments here. I
Reed,
would love him if he were on my team, but until he is, I won't forgive him. And
so
I'm not
Reed,
necessarily saying that I like forgive him, but like we also don't know exactly what was done. We don't know all of the details of what was done. Like,
right,
I'm pretty sure the whole buzzer thing is just speculation, right? Like, no player has ever come out and been like, yes, we wore buzzers.
right. I don't
The
think
garbage can is the only thing that we know for sure,
right.
right?
Yeah, and uh, I don't think we'll ever know truly until members of that team are retired and far, far,
Totally.
far removed
Totally.
from playing.
Or anybody that could like get a job
Right.
in MLB still.
Right.
Like,
So
look at what like Carlos Beltran was going to be the Mets manager.
right.
And now he's effectively out of baseball. And that
Right.
sucks because Beltran should be in baseball.
Absolutely. I think, you know, ultimately that could break one of two ways. Either it turns out that it's not nearly as big of a deal as we all thought it was, or it turns out that it's way more nefarious than we than what
Yeah.
we thought. And that would
But I
suck. Like,
but I also think that, like, it's they're not the only ones who were cheating.
totally.
They were just the ones that got caught.
Hmm.
Like, for all we know, the Cubs may have been cheating,
Yeah. Yeah. I
and we
mean,
just never knew about it.
right. Yeah. I guess it's like, I sit there and it's like, every team in professional sports is doing its best to try to get an edge or a leg up on the competition. That
Totally.
translates across professional sports in general. Like, doesn't matter at all. Side note about Reed. Reed is a buddy of mine. He is a San Francisco Giants fan.
Ooh, Reed. The Giants, man. Like, I never know how to feel about the Giants.
I did go to Coors Field and root the Giants on with Reed one time, and it was a blast.
Well, I shouldn't say I never know what to think about the Giants. I loved Tim Lincecum. I loved Matt Cain. I loved, that point in his career. Bumgarner, obviously Posey. I mean, they had so many likable players. I mean, this iteration of the Giants in the last couple years, I don't know. I look at their team on paper and I'm like, how is this team expected to compete? Kind of like the Brewers. Are they the Brewers of the NL West? Double play ball. Sorry, double play ball. Got distracted. Nice little turn.
Reed says he loves you for that.
No, I think he loved you for you guys going to the Rock. I think he responded to you guys going to the game in Denver.
Good. Reed, you would love Jake too. Jake would join in our shenanigans.
None of us know how this will ever work. Yeah, I mean, it's Jung Hoo Lee or Young Hoo Lee. I haven't heard it pronounced yet, but he's super intriguing. Conforto's off to a hot start. Soler is some bop in that lineup that they needed. Who am I missing? Peterson's on the Diamondbacks now.
Right.
Who's
in
their
a good little game the other night? Jockey.
Yeah, 2 walks, 2 runs.
Mm-hmm.
I check the box scores every morning.
You want to know something fun about the Giants?
Yeah.
I have played music and shows with Barry Zito before.
Oh, that's so sick. You know what else is sick? The Cubs win on the first BBBC stream.
Look at that. We're good luck.
BBBC opening day. Cubs dub.
Well, Reed, you can tune in Friday afternoon while Jake and I discuss how anyone competes with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Which hopefully means Shohei's arm is spaghetti at some point. It's bad to wish that on someone, but well, Jake, fly the W.
Fly the damn W.
I got to go put my flag out now. I got to go hang it and then watch it drain my ring battery.
Yeah.
Just motion at your door. Motion at
maybe it's a good thing that we don't have a flagpole up, because I wanted one, but the way that our front door is situated, I don't think it would look great. But Kim was on board to fly the W if we had done that.
Well, you just get one, Reed says he'll be here on Friday with us.
Reed, we'll see you then. We'll also be back for all 155 that tuned in tonight, not that are currently watching.
Yes.
Maybe someday we'll get there. We'll be back tomorrow night. 6:40 start. I still don't think we know who's going for the Cubs. Who cares who's going for the Rockies? Cubs go for the sweep.
The Rockies don't even care who's going for the Rockies.
They really don't. They really do not care at all.
And we'll be back tomorrow night to hopefully witness a sweep. First sweep of the season.
Yeah.
Crossing our fingers. Jake, pleasure as always.
Go Cubbies.
Go Cubbies. Wait, how'd you get the confetti? What the heck?
It's your mic. It's got to be your mic that's screwing it up.
Totally.
And on that note.
So long.
Goodbye.